be playing in London, so I was a little down
Hmm.
about that. But hey, man, I'm all for it. I can't wait to join some of these Rush road trips. We're gonna have a great time. We're gonna give you guys the greatest experience of all time. I'll tell you that.
It, I'm pretty pumped because the schedule's going to come out. We're going to get everything, all the dates situated, and then we're going to make sure that we get you guys taken care of. And we're going to be traveling a lot this year. Probably not doing every road game, but we're going to be doing enough that, hopefully you can come out and see us. Now, one thing that I did think was interesting about the schedule, everybody keeps saying 49ers Eagles week 1. That's what they want to see. I hate to burst y'all's bubble. The Kelsey mom came out and let out on Facebook, which is hilarious, that the Chiefs and the Eagles likely, she has been told they're playing week 2.
Oh,
I don't think there's any way in the world the NFL schedule would do 49ers Eagles week 1, Eagles Chiefs week 2. Those are like two of the most premium matchups of the whole year. They usually like to save those a little bit. Don't you think, Wayne?
yeah, but the way that the season ended for the 49ers last season was a bit salty. And
Just
why
a
not
little. Just a
spice it
little.
up a little bit with some cayenne ghost pepper? Week 1, Monday Night Football. What? That would be crazy, right? Niners on Monday night, like which we've played before on Monday night. Usually we're the later game if we were at home, but we'll be on the road. Well, we don't know what we're going to be actually, so it's going to be interesting. But if we're playing the Eagles, it's going to be on the road. But it would be cool if it's a Monday nighter. I could dig it.
It is. And like I will say this though, man, again, like I look back over the past schedules, that initial Monday night game, usually not a blockbuster because everybody's going to watch it no matter what. That 49ers Eagles matchup just screams November to me. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see what's going on there. Now, let's talk about some new 49ers, which is always fun. The 49ers announced 3 new players that have officially signed. Quarterback Brandon Allen, who we already knew about. He's going to be the quarterback 4, quarterback 3 for training camp. I don't think it's going to be long until certain, people start putting out there that Brandon Allen's pushing for Trey Lance's spot and Trey Lance will be quarterback 4. How long do you think it's going to take until the nonsense gets that far? Do you think it's
If
going to happen?
the nonsense won't get that far, guys. It
I'm
better
hoping
not
so.
happen. Not on my watch. It's not going to happen.
There we go.
Trey Lance is going to throw his first deep pass, and next thing we're going to forget about all the other quarterbacks on the roster. I can tell you that right now. Once that
And,
first deep pass is completed.
yeah, I'm with you there. The funny thing about Brandon Allen is like he was the number 2 quarterback for the Cincinnati Bengals last year behind Burrow the whole year. He comes here,
Correct.
he's quarterback 4. It's just the Niners are doing things differently at the quarterback position. Insulation. Bro Montana, he says Marlon Davidson. Remember him coming out of the draft in great defense. He can't body or will he play? Wayne, you did some pretty cool video breakdowns on Twitter, which was awesome. Uh,
Yeah. Thank
what
you.
are your thoughts on this new defensive tackle, defensive edge? He's a weird guy, kind of all over the place.
It's funny because the 49ers always get their guy. And you're probably saying to yourself, what the hell do you mean by that, Breezy? And it's like they may not draft a player, but they have certain players that they've had their eyes on since the draft process. And if you go back to 2020, John and I did an exercise where we broke down the defensive tackles who were taken in 2020. It was Derek Brown to the Panthers. It was our guy and Javon Kinlaw. And then it was a bunch of really, I
I
don't
was high
know.
on Elliott. I was
Yeah,
high on
yes, you
Elliott out of
were.
Missouri.
Yes, you were.
Has
And
not
then
played well.
and then you have this guy Marlon Davidson out of Auburn. And so you're saying to yourself, what are you going to get in the Marlon Davidson? Well, you're going to get another guy that's pretty, he wants to attack the quarterback. This is more like your pass rushing defensive tackle, a guy that can probably come in and spell a couple of snaps for a guy like Javon Hargrave, right? Opposed to your run stuffing defensive tackle like Javon Kinlaw. So the 49ers are just looking to big and build in the trenches, right? You guys say we need the trenches built, and that's what they're doing. They're getting in players that they feel like they can get some productivity. Now you're not going to get the high production in sacks. He didn't play much. He has 1 sack, but he does have a pick six on the GOAT in football. If you guys think Tom Brady's the GOAT, my bad. I forgot it's Joe Montana. But you get what I'm trying to say. Like, he did pick six Tom Brady, something that the 49ers are familiar with. And so, look, This guy might be able to come in. And here's the upside for Marlon Davidson. You're going to get a young kid that wants to hit. Like at the end of the day, he wants to hit. He has the ability to do so, and he's going to be put to test in the best. He's going to be put through the fire, right? He's going to go through the best defensive line coaching he can get in his entire career, John. And that's how I'm looking at this. And if he can make this roster, whoopity whippity do, we're going to have another guy in the stable for that pass rush from the interior.
Yeah, I think this is him versus T.Y. McGill. And I think they have different skill sets, but for that kind of one of those last defensive tackle spots, I went back and I love this. One of my favorite things about doing all this draft work is you keep it and you get to kind of read back and see. He was drafted the second round by the Atlanta Falcons in 2020. So not too long ago, hasn't worked out. They moved on. This is my pre-draft before he played one snap in the NFL. Real quick. Played on the edge for 4 years, but lacks spin to be an edge player. Will be an interior guy. Looks funny because he stood up at Auburn. He played linebacker and would rush from a 2-point stance at over 300 pounds. It was weird to start with. Very good motor for a big guy. Hips are really good for his size. The more I watch, the more I like. Then I said he either has to drop 20 pounds and play edge or bulk up. And so we'll have to see. They definitely decided to bulk up. Power player, very good hands. I had a late second round grade on him. Just hasn't panned out. But reclamation project, as Big Papa said, Koceric, get him in here. Let's make it work. I love these types of plays. Cleveland Farrell, same thing. Austin Bryant, same thing. We'll see. And then one more that we know about, tight end Troy Fumagalli, baby.
Fumagalli.
Bringing it back.
He's back, man. And you know, people said we wanted more tight ends in camp. Now we have 6. Right?
You said that Friday on when we were on your show Friday.
It's crazy.
You said too many wide receivers, not enough
tight ends. And they added a good old vet, which is weird to me, John, because I counted 90 and then we added a couple of more. So that means that gives us 92 because I already counted in Allen. And so I'm a little interested to see who they're going to let go.
Now, one thing that's interesting, last year they had 91 players going into camp because I don't think Alfredo Gutierrez counts.
Okay.
I think he's still part of the roster exemption. I'm not 100% sold on that.
I thought that came down to season starting, but it could be for the 90-man. You're right.
And so, like, they might only have to cut one player. They might only have to cut one.
Correct.
So we'll
Good
see.
Point.
We'll find out. If they cut 2, then we know he doesn't count. If they cut 1, look at you, man. Dude.
I just had to be on it. You
gotta be careful with that soundboard from what I hear. I love those guys so much, man. And here's my thing is I love everybody. I love all the people. I have no problem. I'm sorry. I love those guys, man. They're incredible.
They are. I just, you know, it is. It's
I'm a friend of the show. I've been on their show a couple times, and I always have a good time.
Good group of
anyway,
fellas.
let's talk. Okay, let's transition. And I'm not the guy that likes to talk quarterbacks, but I gotta say it has been freaking hilarious seeing everybody walk back to Sam Darnold, whatever stuff, after Ian Rappaport go, and I don't even want to play the clip. I cut the clip. I don't even want to play the damn clip because it's trash. He just made stuff up. And so Ian Rappaport, I'd say probably the number 2 insider in the NFL. You got Schefter, and then you got Rappaport. And, you know, he goes on, I think it was on Pat McAfee over a week ago, where he said, hey, guess what? Sam Darnold's going to be the starting quarterback week 1. But he was saying it like he had inside information. He wasn't saying it like it was his opinion.
He said he had it like he had a source on the inside.
Yeah. And everybody took it and run with it. You got people saying he's the greatest thrower of all time for the 49ers. You got everybody saying, oh, the 49ers are leaking information to him because, you know, they want everybody to get ready for it, all that stuff. Well, all that now has been disproven by Rappaport, which, again, not a credible source when it comes to the Niners. Find one time he has been right about the 49ers quarterback situation, and it'd be the first time you see it. But he comes out and says, well, he got pushback from the Niners on why he doesn't think why he's discounting Trey, and everybody else is discounted as well. You know, Mayoko even came out on yesterday's show, which you should go listen to. He's incredible. Do I like the statement he made? No, I thought it was silly, but he even addressed it in his latest podcast, saying it was a ridiculous statement, and you know, everybody's kind of whatever. I don't know, Wayne. You are usually one of the most rational people I know when it comes to this stuff. And I'm always just like, man, they don't know what the hell they're talking about. That's kind of my MO. What are your thoughts on this with them coming back and just saying, yeah, that was just my opinion? Nobody has told me that.
I mean, if you're not talking 49ers, then you're irrelevant, right? And so it's unfortunate, people say, we do things for clicks, and we're just putting out the information on how we receive it and what we get. And what he came out and said was, if you go back to the Ian Rappaport situation, there was not even a Trey Lance mention in his statements about the quarterback position. It was Brock Purdy healing, and it was Sam Darnold being the guy that was probably going to be starting.
Been on that.
Yeah. And that's what it was. And so, yeah, everybody was going to run with it because they're like, oh, he's a connected guy, so he must have some type of inside information. Then the Bumbleclock comes on national TV with Pat McAfee, international because we're on YouTube. And then he comes on international TV and says, he was kind of making it up. It was his opinion. And now, now it's okay. Y'all better give him all the flack. I want him to get all the smoke. All of it. Because let that have been one of us. Y'all wouldn't let us see the next damn day. He gets the smoke and give it to him too. I mean, give it to him. Make him feel bad to where he need to go on vacation for a couple of months. Real talk. No pun intended.
Oh, man. Jacqueline, appreciate the contribution. She's the best. She says, hey, Jonaway, you guys rock. Keep the great content coming. I love it. And one of my things that I really do enjoy, and again, this is why I always share my draft write-ups, because I'm wrong a lot, whatever. I like to be held accountable. It's something that's important to me, whether I'm right or wrong. And one of the things that's important is like people are like, oh, you're just like, you believe you just can't give up on Trey no matter what. And I'm like, no, that's not it at all. There's nothing to give up on yet because we haven't seen it. It's potential. Just means you haven't done it yet. I want Trey to be the quarterback. I want Brock to be the quarterback. Like, those two guys are incredible, but I want the opportunity to see. I have not seen enough from Trey to discount him or to love him. I want to see it. There's a reason why you traded up for him. Let's go see it. And it's funny because everybody's running with, oh, Sam Darnold's in the game because he's at the game.
He's one of the boys, right?
I'm just like, whoa, Trey's not one of the boys. And he doesn't.
That's because Trey's ass is at practice getting right. So let that sink in.
I can honestly say, in working with his agent, we tried to get him out to our draft party in Vegas. And when we were first setting up the draft party, the agent and Trey were in until they found out where it was. And they said, nope, Trey does not want the image of a partier. He doesn't want the image. He wants to work. He is not, because you remember right after he got drafted, he went with Kittle in the gang to Vegas
for his birthday.
Same Twitter people roasted the shit out of him, saying, oh, he's not taking it serious. It's just the biggest double standard ever.
I'm just excited to see what's going to be brewing with the 49ers once camp hits. OTAs is on its way. You got rookie mini camp first. A couple weeks off. You're going to have OTAs. Trey Lance is going to be the leading guy. We already know they're going to get split reps. These are the things that we do know. That's concrete, which you want. You want to see Sam Darnold run with the ones. You want to see how well he's progressed when he's facing the number one defense opposed to facing the number two or the number three defense. That's common sense, right? And so, like, you want to see Trey Lance the same way. That way you can get a really good assessment. I think that the thing with me about Trey Lance is I get that we don't know what he can become, but damn it, give this kid an opportunity, and then let's find out. Because at the end of the day, we'll never know. We can't say that he's washed up. We can't say that he's a bust. How can we say that? He hasn't played football. He hasn't played enough football to be any of those things other than be great. I'm sorry, I'm the half glass full where I feel like he's just going to be great. That's just who I am. And I feel like he's going to come out and punch everybody in the mother freaking mouth. That's kind of how I see it. That's what you do against adversity. You punch it in the mouth. Smack it right in the lips.
Right. I love it. And I'll say this. If Brock Purdy was healthy, Brock Purdy should start. I believe that. But that's not the case.
It's
That's
not
not
the
the case.
case.
And so that's why it makes sense for me. And I think Wayne, I'll speak for you here too. Let's see what he's got. What are you? What's being lost here? Let's just
Nothing.
see.
Here's why, John. You got the number one damn defense. You still got a crazy ass high powered offense, and now you're gonna put in a quarterback that has this high powered offense who can be high powered. It's like a win-win. Even if he starts slow, it's still a win. I don't care if we win by 1 point for the first 17 games. As long as we win in these games, there's nothing we should be saying about it. I don't care if he doesn't go out there and does what Brock can do. Brock is Brock. Trey is Trey. Let Trey be Trey. We let Brock be Brock, and we loved it. How about we let Trey be Trey? Don't expect him to do what Brock does. Expect him to do what Trey does. What I do expect is Kyle Shanahan to use his strengths and let this kid be great. That's what I expect.
You know what else is crazy? I was talking with Chuck. You know Chuck. He was with us draft.
Chuck.
He's an Eagles guy. And once a week we talk where he brings me his outside Niners takes, and I bring him my outside Eagles takes just on the phone. Usually while I'm playing Halo or something. And he's like, how many games did Trey Lance play with CMC last year? And I was like, 0. They've never played together. And he's like, wasn't Kittle out to start the year as well? And I was like, yeah, he had Tyler Kroft out there, who just signed today with Miami. And I love that. I'm happy for Kroft. Good. I remember Kroft playing with the 49ers pretty well. We only remember that one play, but the rest of the year, he was pretty solid. He was not a bad tight end, but that one play stands out. Anyway, let's wrap up this quarterback talk. I don't like to do quarterback talk because it's always just nonsense.
We have to because our situation is different than all the other 31 teams. Our coach decides to make he's creating this illusion of it being a drama. So we have no choice but to talk about it. But what we do is we support the quarterback. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is.
If Sam Darnold's under center week 1,
we're going to go hard 100%.
Yes, it's support your team. Also, I'd be failed to mention, happy birthday, Trey Lance. He turned 23 years old today.
Yes, 23.
Younger than 10 quarterbacks that were drafted this year.
Wow, he's a baby.
Oof. All right, now let's transition. I'm excited about this. This is gonna be fun. We do our 90-man roster series every year where we rank, 1 through 90 or 91 in Alfredo's case. We have some ties. So we had 5 of our producers rank out the schedule, myself included. And so we did like golf scores, right? So like Nick Bosa was the highest ranked player. He was, first, and then second on one list. So you add those up, he got a score of 6. Not even close. Nick Bosa is number 1. But here is there was a tie in the top 5. And Wayne Breezy is going to fix this tie. Now, I'll share. I put out a Twitter poll.
I can tell you Trent Williams is number 2, period.
He is number 2, close. So here's the scores. Nick Bosa had a 6, and remember, the lower the score, the better. This is out of 5 people's rankings, right? Nick Bosa 6. One person had Trent Williams 1. That's why he got an 11. And then these 2 players tied for 3rd and 4th with 22 points. Those 2 players are, and I want you guys to put this in the chat as well, who is more valuable just to this year, 2023, Javon Hargrave or Christian McCaffrey? This is tough, right? Right. And I think this is a testament to the Niners because, good gosh, that's 4 pretty damn good players. You're talking Bosa, Trent Williams, CMC, Javon Hargrave. And so they tied with the score of 22 each, just ahead of Fred Warner at 24.
So I have to pick between those 2 guys. Who's going to
You want me to tell you what the poll was?
Sure, because, I know everybody's saying CMC, and
Offense
I get it.
Wins Twitter polls every time.
Yeah.
78% said CMC. Now, I had Javon Hargrave ranked higher. A lot higher.
I think I would go with Javon Hargrave. He's going to change the face of the defense. I think you know what? Everybody's
look at Coach Cruz. Look at he said it was
him.
Coach Cruz was the one that put Trent first. He sure as hell was. I love you, Coach.
It would have been me too, though, Coach. I don't get invited to the special meetings, but listen, I would have been right there with Coach Cruz. I can tell you that right now. What's up, Peachy? No, John. I'm going with Hargrave. His addition to this team will make everything work and stand out a little bit better. But Christian McCaffrey is right behind him because without McCaffrey on the offense is a bit stagnant. They know what Debo's going to do. Here's the cool thing about Christian McCaffrey is he's going to run the ball, but you can't stop him. With
Yeah.
Debo Samuel, you know when he's going to run the ball, so you're preparing to put all 8, 9 guys in the box to stop him. So with Christian, you can't stop. But Javon Hargrave on that defense, if you guys thought Nick Bosa was the best defensive player in the league last year, imagine how much better he's going to be this year with the addition of an interior pass rush.
Javon Hargrave led the Eagles in double teams. Just saying. Look at this, Peachy. Absolutely incredible. This was on your channel, Wayne. Why don't you take this one? Peachy, you're incredible.
Hey,
by the way.
Peachy. She says, hey, Breezy and John, my bros, this season is going to be so exciting. Quarterback 1 is going to be fascinating. We got this fire. We ready to get this. Excited to find out when these games are going to be. It's time to take 6. Hashtag BB, hashtag CC.
Breezy
Thank you
bunch,
so much,
baby.
Peachy. Yeah, we in the
Love
building.
It. I love it. Now, here's, and again, this goes into my rationale for Hargrave and CMC. What's behind them? Okay? Because the depth chart for me is CMC, then Debo, then Elijah Mitchell, then Jordan Mason.
Agree. It's a bigger depth chart. You can still win. You can still be as effective with Debo. You can still be as effective with Elijah Mitchell. The moment you take out Javon Hargrave, everybody's focusing on Nick Bosa again.
We haven't seen it yet. We've seen what CMC did, which was unbelievable. Right? Like what CMC did was great.
Amazing.
It changed everything. It made Jimmy Garoppolo the best quarterback he's ever been in his life.
It made him a top 10 quarterback in the league. It made him a top 10 quarterback in the league. It made Jimmy Garoppolo a top 10. And then it made Brock Purdy a top 3 quarterback in the league, like 5 or whatever you want to call him. Like that's the addition of Christian McCaffrey. He makes the offense, he saves the offense, and he allows he makes the defenses play honest. Because that's what you want. And that's why I'm so happy for a healthy Trey Lance. Because now you have a quarterback that can option with the run, that can option with the throw, that can he can do so many different things where the defense is going to be like, oh, shoot, I don't know which one to defend. So let me defend quarterback first. And then there's your running lanes. And now everybody's going to be able to go out there and gash them up the middle for rushes and gash to the outside. So it's going to be interesting. But I'm going with Hargrave, then CMC.
Look at Ty right here.
Ty, the creator.
Ty's the best, man. He is incredible. You're the man, Ty. It was so cool whenever he came out to Vegas and hung out with us.
He's amazing, for sure.
He's a good dude. He's a good dude. Now, and so back to this, okay? Now let's tip the scales. Let's talk Javon Hargrave. You remember the 49ers defense wasn't elite to start the year.
No.
You remember that Falcons game? Like, it was rough.
Can we push back a smidget? Because I thought the defense was elite to the injury of Emmanuel Mosley, and then it took a punch in the mouth, a punch in the gut, however you want to look at it.
That's much better said than what I said. Much more accurate to what I said as well. But like, I remember when our defensive tackles weren't great, it was rough. I remember that Falcons game, man.
We were there, John. I know.
That Falcons game hurt.
They ran the ball. But it also, in my opinion, though, I know they rushed the ball really well. I know they were gashing us up the middle, so I know exactly where you're going with this. But it all started after the big run on 3rd down from Marcus Mariota when we couldn't contain him. I forgot who missed the tackle. I think it was Nick Bosa. I think he over pursued.
Mariota was the NFC Player of the Week that game.
You weren't supposed to remind us or me.
He had one incompletion. It was in the 4th quarter. That dude played the best game of his damn career
in the NFL.
This defense.
Yeah, he was damn near Oregon.
Jarrett Stidham and effing
Marcus Mariota
like just went off on this defense.
It was like 2 quarterbacks they just didn't prepare well for, I guess.
It's weird. I don't think that they took them like for granted or like, we're just like, whatever, we'll just see what happens here. But it was weird because nobody expected those 2 quarterbacks to go off. Now, here's what's crazy. The 49ers allowed 4 teams to rush for over 100 yards collectively.
Good point.
Okay?
Yeah.
3 of those games were in the first 9 weeks of the year. Once you got Eric Armstead back in week 12, that stuff was done.
It was done.
It was done because you finally got quality defensive tackle play. And that's why I'm like, man, we've seen the finished product of CMC, which is incredible, makes everybody better, especially George Kittle and the quarterbacks. I'm not discounting CMC. What is a more premium position?
Oh, the defensive tackle.
Look at the
Absolutely.
money. Look at the dollars. Both got new deals this year. It's not even close. 21 million versus I think you got 14.3 average is CMC's deal.
But don't let's not discount CMC's value one bit because he's not
like this dialogue
atypical running back, right? He's a weapon. So he's built like a running back. He's trained to play like a running back. Whereas Debo is built like a receiver and trained to play like a receiver, but can run the ball. Christian McCaffrey can also go out for passes and then kill you in that game too. So when you got your running back that can line out in the slot, that can win every time in the slot, that can win outside, like that's what makes him so valuable. That's why. Is there a big drop from CMC to Debo?
They're different. I mean, they're different.
They are different, but as far as value,
it's weird because you got both of them. I think you have the two most versatile. You throw in Eckler in that conversation, maybe Kamara used to be, but like you've got the two most versatile wide receiver / running backs in the NFL. I think Cordarrelle Patterson's the older version, and Shanahan's gone after him every chance he's had and never got him. Like, that's the weird thing, right? We saw what Debo did by himself, 1,770 total yards. I mean, last year, CMC, how many? I think he had 1,800 total yards last year.
Too bad he didn't start as of 49.
1,880 total yards last year, 13 touchdowns between the Panthers and the Niners.
Yeah.
You're persuaded me a little bit. So your final decision, all right, you're the tiebreaker in this.
I'm still going Hargrave because there was only one thing I wanted us to do in the offseason and free agency. What was that? I wanted us to sign a defensive interior guy. It was Javon Hargrave.
I didn't think they would.
Hargrave was my number 2 because you know who my number 1 was, but the Washington Commanders put the tag on him, and I think Hargrave is a much better interior pass rusher than the guy that I wanted, except for the guy that I wanted I just felt like was younger, can grow with his team. Hargrave's a little up there in the age, not old, but, up there in his 30s. At the end of the day, we got what we needed.
I'm going to say this.
If you look, John, before you say this, if you look at those top teams, go back to the playoffs. Look at those teams in the playoffs. Where were they strongest? The interior defensive line. Kansas City, the Philadelphia Eagles. The 49ers had the weakest interior defensive line in the playoffs.
There it is, man. Look at Danson. She's incredible. Trivia winner right here. Past trivia winner. Said the key is having CMC and Debo at the same time. Defenses have to pick on a key. And my favorite lineup we did is when both CMC and Debo were in the backfield. You play action one, you sprint out the other one the opposite way. You're forcing everybody to the perimeter outside the numbers. George Kittle wide open in the middle, right? We saw the Brock Purdy. Right? Like it's just pick your poison. You're stressing these teams horizontally. With Trey Lance, you can stretch them vertically. We have not seen that adaptation to the Shanahan offense since Shanahan showed up.
Not from Trey. And so that is, I think, what's scaring everybody because the way that the team is built, we're more of a horizontal, going across the field, dink and dunk, yak type of a team. Kyle needs to switch that junk up. You got a quarterback that can get the ball down the field. You got wide receivers that can outrun DBs. It's time to stretch the D. It's time to change it up. And I think we're going to see a big difference in the game plan. Even Sam Darnold can stretch the defense. He likes to get vertical down the field as well.
Yeah, he's got an arm. Now, I do want to flex for Wayne a little bit because I was wrong on a lot of things.
No.
I wanted to spend money on the edge. Niners didn't do that. Wayne wanted to spend money on the defensive tackle. They did. Wayne wanted to target a safety early. I was like, no, I don't value that. I don't think the Niners do either. They traded up for it. Wayne got that one right. I didn't want to spend a high pick on a kicker. Wayne was pretty consistent with that one. Dude, Like again, props. We talked about
Thank you,
being
bro.
accountable earlier.
I
You've
think what
nailed
I'm
it, man.
I mean, kudos to you guys, man. Kudos to my family from Nothing But Niners, Nitty Gritty. We just when we collectively come together, we get to sit and have these conversations like a big old powwow. I like when we all come together and we do the events, and because we just get to sit down and talk, and we kind of look at what the 49ers, who they were and where they're going, and they're always trying to change it up a little bit. And so this year they changed it up a lot of bit, right? They kind of hit us with the ookie dookie jukes, right? We didn't know where they were going. I just had this inkling that we were pretty stacked, and it made sense if we went after a safety, knowing that you got your starting safety on a 1 year deal. And he's kind of old, and he was contemplating retirement. And why not go and get a great guy? And so, whether you guys feel like he's going to be ready to go day one or not, that's not the point. Jair Brown, John, you put out this tweet, and it was so freaking dope. I smacked myself twice and called me Susan because I'm like, damn it, that was my job. I was supposed to put that out before John, and he did it. Kudos to John. You talked about how we drafted and the takeaways that we got from our draft. Point intended. Those guys get interceptions. Those guys force turnovers. Even Jalen Graham. Nobody's talking about Jalen Graham. John, I challenge you to have a Jalen Graham presentation this Friday so we can show my comp to Jalen Graham,
Ooh.
like ceiling of Jalen Graham, is Navarro Bowman. That's what I get from Jalen Graham. I want you to go back and look at Jalen Graham, and you can see why I said that. If you guys go out there and watch some film, just watch the damn highlights. You can see why I said that's Navarro Bowman 2.0.
Instincts, 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 man. That dude. My favorite thing is just how quick trigger his response are with his keys. I mean, yeah, I'm excited about that. Friday's going to be fun, guys. Friday's going to be a good time. That's going to be over on the over on the Wayne show. See, we're synonymous. You see what I'm saying? I'm mixing
Yeah,
each other up.
absolutely. We were
We
just
look
one and the
alike. You
same.
know what I'm saying? I'm just
Yeah.
saying. Uh, let's see here. Dynamite Dave says, "Hey John, can you talk about what games will have your deals? Do we know yet? I don't know yet. Here's the process. Okay, Thursday the schedule comes out. Then after that happens, I sit down with the wifey and our calendar, and she tells me what games I can go to and which ones I can't. Then I get on with the Brain Trust, Wayne, Nick, Vicky, all those freaking awesome Road Rush crew people, and we figure out what we can work out, and then we build from there. So, and on top of that, I'm just going to be honest, the Chapmans might be moving. We're going to find out a little bit more about that the 20th of May. So, like, we're finding out a couple weeks before we might be moving, which will affect this, but in a positive way if we do move to the Bay Area, be able to do a lot more home games. But anyway, so we're going to be very transparent through this process. I don't want to rush and say we're going to be doing one and then pull out of that. I don't want to do that. So just we got time. Trust me. I will be setting up all kinds of fun stuff. We will be setting up all kinds of fun stuff. We'll be getting there. We'll be getting there. All right, here we go. Let's do our next one. You ready, Wayne?
Sure.
All right.
First one was tough, though.
This one's not easier. These guys tied for 12th and 13th with a score of 60 each. Colton McKivitz, Eric Armstead. Which one has a larger impact on the 2023 season success of the 49ers? Colton McKivitz, Eric Armstead.
It's going to be Colton McKivitz.
Ooh.
And this is not a shot to Eric Armstead, but honestly, I think his job just got a lot easier, and he just added some years onto his sentence. No pun. I didn't mean to say it like that, but he's added some years onto his career. I'm not saying he's going to have a piece of cake job, but man, he's going to get one-on-ones all day. No more doubles on Eric Armstead. This is excellent, right? And so that's why I'm kind of going with Colton, because it's like his job is that right tackle spot, that position. And can I say this about Colton McKivitz, because no one's giving this guy any good juju. And I will say this. I know he hasn't started, for a season as the right tackle, but let me just remind everybody real quick. I know we want to upgrade at the position. I'm not gonna, I'm not wrong in saying that I think Colt McKivitz is an upgrade as a pass protector over Mike McGlinchey. Yep, I said it. That's it. He's a better pass blocker than Mike McGlinchey. Is he a better run blocker? No, but you're gonna give us some time to get to gel in with these guys, and I feel like Colton McKivitz's job and his value is that much. It's much more than what Eric Armstead. So I would rank him a little bit. I would give him the nudge at 12, put Armstead at 13, because we need Colton McKivitz to be good. He doesn't even have to be great. He just has to do his damn job,
Yeah.
right? Go out there, and you guys said protect the quarterback. I think that's what everybody wants. Well, if he's a better pass protector, he's a better blocker, then he's probably going to protect the damn quarterback. You want some stats? I can give you some grades. And as far as like what I mean by that, I mean he doesn't have a lot of games underneath his belt, but
Right.
when he played, you had Trent Williams co-signing the man when he started. Like he's a better pass protector and pass blocking, and it's probably because he's not of size at 6'6", 6'7", whatever Mike McGlinchey was, and he doesn't get bull rushed. He doesn't get knocked on his butt, and
No,
so
he's mean.
he's a mean, solid dude. He went to West Virginia for God's sakes.
He had some of the funnest tape because he was the last person making contact on every single play. Like he was rough. And Clayton, look at the producer, the man behind the scenes. 85.9 pass blocking grade from PFF last year in his snaps. 52.7 run blocking grade. Look at that.
Clayton, I owe you $1. I give you another dollar, Clayton, if you can pull up, because I was on the way because Big Papa doesn't let me slack off on anything. Shit, I'm still waking up. But if you can get me Mike McGlinchey's as well, and then we can compare the stats. I think Mike McGlinchey's run blocking grade is probably going to be 80s, and pass blocking is probably going to be in the 60s.
And that was Mike McGlinchey's best year pass blocking. The problem was he just had back-to-back, it was the McGlinchey curse, right? Like he was going to have 1 to 2 bad plays a game. That didn't look bad, looked terrible.
They happened at the worst opportune time, too. So not only was it his bad luck, it's just that, damn it, they happen at times we score touchdowns.
Clayton's on it, baby.
Hey, how close was I? 65.5 pass blocking and 73.3 run blocking for Mike McGlinchey. God dang it, Breezy was close. I said damn near 80 and 60.
So, man, if we're just in it, this is a very small sample size for McKivitz, but you're talking 85.9 pass blocking from 65.5. Like, that's not a small jump. That's 20 plus points.
And look who he had to block.
Can he do it consistently? That's
Well, see, that's why I wanted to give some upside to the guy, right? Because last year, when you look at the offensive line, we had to address 3 positions in one season. You had Aaron Banks starting at your left guard. He never played before. You had a brand new damn center in there in Jake Brendel, who's never played before. You had a rookie who's never even been in the league before at your right guard. And then there was Mike McGlinchey. So you went into last season with 2 bookends. They didn't look good weeks 1 through 6, like 7.
Yeah.
They didn't look good, but then they started to gel. Here's the thing, John. We got 4 guys returning to the offensive line with 1 new guy starting. I like my chances. I like the odds.
You know, it's interesting because last year, I went back and looked at our last year's rankings, and I had Daniel Brunskill at 12 because we all thought Brunskill was the starter. He didn't start. He didn't start at all. He got injured. Brunskill came, not Brunskill, Burford came in, took the job. They rotated some. And so my question is for Colton McKivitz, I think he gets first shot. Would I be shocked at all? And I'm not trying to say I'm low on Colton McKivitz. I think Matt Pryor is pretty damn close to Colton McKivitz. I wouldn't be shocked if I'd put the over-under at Pryor starting games at 4.5. I think he's going to get work.
And it's okay. It's okay because at the end of the day, who's your better swing tackle?
look at Brian. Oh,
I know. I was chuckling earlier.
Does Colton help his quarterback back up if he gives up a sack, or does he step over him? One of my least favorite things about Mike McGlinchey, if you watched all our breakdowns on Patreon, we did every single play the last 2.5 years, is when Colton McKivitz or whenever McGlinchey had a bad play, worst body language in the world.
That comment right there. Remember I said he blocked better people?
Jay coming through, man.
And, I mean, God forbid, I'm not saying we lost the NFC Championship because of the Trent Williams injury, but we lost the NFC Championship because Trent Williams wasn't healthy. And can you imagine if and Trent said, "Damn it, I should have let he should have just started. I shouldn't have played." He, my but I'm happy Trent's an Iron Man. He went out there, he played injured, cool. I'm just saying, like, he's being endorsed. That should mean something. And John, you're probably right. But if Matt Pryor does beat out Colton McKivitz, or if anybody else beats him out, I still like the fact that is the best swing tackle on the team.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. And Jalen Moore, they like him at left tackle, but we'll see. He fixes in there. And probably my question, because again, I had Eric Armstead higher, okay, but I had him back to back. But Eric Armstead ain't losing his job.
No.
That dude is the starter and will be the starter as long as he's healthy. And so that's why I had Armstead higher. But I'm finding out that any poll I do that is offense versus defense that doesn't have Nick Bosa or Fred Warner involved into it, everybody votes offense. Look at George. I love this. He says, "Don't sleep on Alejandro Gutierrez at right tackle. There's a reason why he's still on the team." And man, I like one of my favorite moments last year. We talked about this on a previous episode when we were in Mexico City.
Mexico City, yeah.
And they let Gutierrez lead him out of the tunnel. Like, that was just cool as hell, man. He's
Great
such
team,
a good dude.
Great culture here with the
Yeah.
49ers. And I can see why players want to play here. I can see why players want to sign here. And that's something I've been hoping for a long time. Because when it comes down to free agency, yeah, it comes down to money, but it also comes down to opportunity. And I think players are just saying to themselves, "Damn it, I want to be in an opportune world contending for something with a great group of guys and a great set of coaches." And I think the culture of the 49ers resonates throughout the NFL. And you can see that the NFL being a copycat league, look at how other teams and organizations are starting to run.
Yeah. Shot Jay says, "I was surprised when Trent admitted he should have let McKivitz start. I don't think I've ever heard a player that caliber." Yeah, he talked about how he wanted to play through the strength. He's a warrior, and that's what warriors are. But he said repeatedly, I think he's talked about it 3 or 4 times, how it would have been better for the 49ers to let McKivitz play over me being injured. He's the man. No doubt about it. Now, before we jump in, we're about to get to our Q&A episode. I have a slight announcement. I hope people don't get too upset. We've been doing our Wednesday 1994 Patreon Watch Party series. We're going to postpone this one week. Warriors play Wednesday night. And I've had a couple people reach out to me saying that they're going to be there and they wanted to postpone it. We got the 49ers Cowboys 1994 game up next. And I don't want anybody to miss this one. So we're going to postpone it. So there's not going to be a watch party this Wednesday. Watch some basketball. Have a good time. Go Warriors. I'm not a Warriors fan. I feel weird saying that. I'm a Mavs guy, but I do root for the Warriors because I'm like an empathetic fan of people I follow. Is that right? Like, I understand most Niners fans are Warriors fans. So I'm just like, all right, cool. I can pull for that. So anyway, we will get to that next Wednesday. So just want to let you know, I'll make a post on Patreon as well, just to update that for everybody. So no watch party this Wednesday. Hope everybody's okay. Nobody gets too mad at me, but it's been requested by a couple people, so I want to respect that. So yeah, we'll do that. So now let's go to the Mad Scientist segment, the questions that have been coming through in this chat. Let's dive in. Let's see where the people want to go. Let's get weird. Here we go. First question from Max. Thoughts on, he's got 3 players: Marcus Peters, Byron Jones, Shaquille Griffin being free agents still. Do you think we're satisfied with our in-house guys, or would you rather go for a proven vet? Wayne, pick one of these players you want to talk about. I'll take the other 2.
I I would go with the older vet in the Byron Jones. Not sure how much football he has left in his tank. But if the 49ers wanted to go with a cheap free agent that they feel they can kind of like move up and down the practice squad, kind of manipulate, it would be the Byron Jones. I know John's going to talk a little bit about Marcus Peters and Shaquille Griffith, but just my thoughts on Marcus Peters, as much as I love the kid, I don't think he fits the team's culture. We just talked about what the culture is here. He may be mature now, but the Marcus Peters we know wouldn't fit this culture, and he's a big risk taker. And you got to ask yourself, do you want that here? Do you want a guy that can potentially get you an interception? He's going to take the risk. He's going to miss something. He's going to miss time to jump. I just think that the 49ers got their guys. They got short guys. And honestly, when it comes to these guys, Max, I don't see the 49ers making any moves unless something happens in camp. I'll leave it at that. I won't. That's the only way I see them making a move.
Yeah, Byron Jones, like he came out and talked about how he can barely run nowadays.
Yeah.
I don't think he officially retired, Bo. Maybe he did, but
maybe he did. Maybe he did.
Shaquille Griffin makes sense. He's the perfect prototype of 6 foot 194 right there, but he's not with the team. Was with Seahawks, Jags. But Marcus Peters is a hard no. Imagine being so toxic. Andy Reid forces you out of his program at a huge position of need, like women and children cause harm. You're team captain there. But being so toxic that Andy Reid, and then you've got McVay in LA, then you've got Harbaugh in Baltimore not wanting to do with this guy. I just don't think it makes much sense. He's a hell of a player, but he got kicked out of 2 college programs on top of that. So that's a big no for me. Yeah, right here, Ty says, 49ers defense is all about staying disciplined. Taking risks gets you burned. We saw that in the middle of last year. I think you're right. Here we go. What do y'all think about the XFL quarterback we picked up?
Okay. Steven Montez from the Sea Dragons. He went to Colorado, played football there. He was on a couple of NFL teams. I believe he had a little stint with the Saints. He's brought in to be the practice, not the practice squad, the rookie minicamp quarterback.
He's not on the team.
He's not
officially on the team. He's just there for the rookie minicamp.
Right. Any guys that got invites to the rookie minicamp don't have deals. This is a workout, tryout, where they can get NFL film together. And they can kind of like put out some tape and hopefully get picked up by a squad. For the 49ers, it's good because they get to work out with these guys and they can kind of like see there's not going to be any installs at rookie mini camp or things like that. It's going to be just some drills and things and kind of, work guys through things. But that's what these invites are. So when they're invited, no deals, straight invite, you come work out, you practice, you get some of that 49er fanfare.
Yeah, which is cool. So, and that's what we got today. Wayne, we're going to be on your show Friday,
baby.
8 a.m.
8 a.m. 11
Pacific time.
Eastern
11 your time. There we go. We started where we left, we finished where we started. This 3-hour show. This has been a lot of fun. Wayne, you're the best there is. I appreciate you solving these 2 problematic issues we had. So we're going Javon Hargrave over CMC.
Yeah, your argument for Armstead over McKivitz was bang on. So you could leave that one, but cool. I'm bigging up McKivitz, man. I'm going for all the underdogs this year.
I love it. Want to say thank you to Clayton, the man behind the scenes. He absolutely crushed it as always. And that's going to do it for us. So until next time, Friday, just a couple short days away, we'll be back together. Be careful out there on these Twitter streets. If you're on Twitter, it's a rough place, baby. And happy birthday to Trey Lance. Go ahead, Wade.
Birthday, Trey. It's very rough. It's rough. I haven't been on Twitter much. I need a break.
Yeah, it gets toxic, man, especially this time of year. This time last year, everybody was talking about trading Debo. Yes. I mean, it's cyclical. Yes. You know what I mean? And it's not going to be too long till morons start talking about how we need to trade Bosa because they're not signing him yet whenever the playbook's already set. So just know.
Be
Don't
patient,
pay attention.
faithful.
Yeah, it's going to be all right. So shoot. Take us out, Wayne. Take us out, man.
Listen.
I got the video ready this time.
That's what I'm talking about. Listen, thank y'all for tuning in. Your boy Breezy, the one and only John Chapman. Shout out to Clayton. Stay strong, faithful. We out.